Right, do we have any apologies, please, Carl?
Yes, Madam Mayor. So we have official apologies from Councillor Haynes, who is on holiday.
Okay, thank you.
She's resolved to accept.
Okay. Do we want to accept those apologies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. He's coming at the doorway. Declarations of interest. Does anybody have a declaration of interest? No? Okay. So item 3 is the mayor's report and any urgent items. Do we have anything?
There's no urgent items, Madam Mayor. No.
No, and I don't have a report. Item 4 is public questions in accordance with Standing Order 20.
None received.
None received. And item 5 is questions which have previously been submitted by members of the council.
None received, Madam Mayor.
Okay. So we'll start with item 6, which is minutes of committees and working parties report to the council. 6.1 is the Community Services Committee. And that's to receive the minutes of the Community Services meeting held on the 17th of January. And I think that is Eileen. Oh, sorry, I've only.
Yes, so Madam Mayor, so Councillor Washington's just asked to just present the headline of the meeting on the 17th for the council to receive.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, so if we just move to item 24, what I try to do in our meetings is actually it doesn't always include absolutely everything that we've done, but it just highlights some of the things that councillors have been involved in or have attended, because I think it's really quite important to give a flavour of some of the things that we're doing to keep people informed of various issues that are moving forward. So that's item 24. Then we went through, received the various minutes of other committees, the allotments and the Remembrance Day Working Party, which of course has now been disbanded and has moved over to events. Forward planner, won't go into anything there in terms of the items included in that, because I know we'll be addressing that at a later date. Budgetary control, noted that report and reviewed our tree policy, item 28.3. Update on the Green Spaces Management Plan. So we went through those. I also actually, as part of this, prior to that, went out with Philip to have a look at all of our recreational grounds to get an insight into the state of the equipment, access, multi-use games areas, etc., which was really, really useful in seeing the forward planner. Then we looked at the haycutter tender, it's straightforward, request for memorials, as usual. And I think that was it really. Looked again at the merit awards that have been sent out.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
We will vote on each individual. Yeah. So could we vote on 6.1? Community Service Committee, we're happy to accept the minutes. Yes. Thank you. We now move on to 6.2, Corporate Policy and Finance Committee, which covers the 6th of March and the 3rd of March 24 and the 12th of June 24. And the chair is Richard.
Okay, I'll go through the 6th of March committee meeting first and ask for approval there. So, relatively straightforward meeting. We just going through the resolution tracker. There's an update from the finance manager on the budget. There was some updated service level agreements for citizens' advice, which we noted and approved. Also went through service level agreements with the Harpendings Lion Club. We noted a report from the Public Realm and Environment Manager on the health and safety monitoring. We looked at a grant application for the Hedgehog Sanctuary, which we've approved a sum of £1,700 to enable this charity to build some hedgehog hutches. That was the summary of the meeting.
And do you want to move on to meeting June?
Yeah, sure. So a busier meeting, a longer meeting. The first point of note would be the chairman's report, where I made a statement regarding the parking situation, specifically the proposed changes by St Albans District Council, and I summarised for the committee what I understood to be the background to the changes, comparing and contrasting that with the commitments that the town council has entered into regarding our business plan. Gave a summary of some of the feedback that I've received from the businesses that I've spoken to in and around the high streets, particularly understanding their different requirements and the potential impact of any changes. Noted there's actually significant opportunities for improvement in the overall policy, which we could participate in, and so on. And then just noting at the end that certainly at the point of the meeting, we haven't received any further information from St Albans. I'll just add as a separate note that this morning I've submitted a freedom of information request to Amanda Foley, asking for full disclosure of the parking scheme and any financial analysis relating to that. That request has been acknowledged, and with a fair wind, we might be able to receive some information in advance of our meeting on the July 22nd. Moving on from the statements around parking, we went through some minutes of some previous meetings. Updated the planner and resolution tracker. Again, budgetary update from Dan. Went through the year-end accounts for the 23-24 financial year, and noted the report and in particular resolved to recommend approval for the reserves and the statement of accounts. We noted an internal audit report, which was very positive, as I recall. We went through the standing orders and financial regulations, quite a detailed review, and I think some good discussion from many of the councillors, just sort of testing a number of the legacy items there, and with some minor changes. We went through the policy for the flag flying dates and a number of updates to the policy, recognising things such as United Nations Day and other key events. There was an update regarding citizens' advice, which was noted by the committee. And finally, we reviewed 2 applications for community grants from Harpenden Mencap, which was approved. And we've agreed to defer a decision on a separate application from the Imagination Dance CIC until the next meeting in September. It's a summary of the notes for both of those meetings.
Perfect, thank you very much. Councillors happy to receive those minutes for those. Oh, I'm sorry.
Page 51. Mentioned like at the meeting, we haven't got the ticks. The big ticks per line. Insurance virus theory.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's a very good point from Councillor Ellis. So this parent emission was noted in the committee meeting, and I think the committee agreed that requested from the finance officer that this be the relevant ticks, which I think are substantial in all of the categories, should be noted. But I noticed that in this report here, and I thank Councillor Ellis for noting this, it hasn't been updated. I'll just request that for the record those ticks on page 51 be included for the record.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, so that item's on the agenda later on this evening, so I can give an update on that.
Okay, thank you.
Can I see another hand up? No? Okay, are we happy to receive those minutes for the 6th of March and the 12th of June Corporate Policy and Finance Committee? Can I see hands, please? Lovely, thank you very much. 6.3 is the Planning Committee and covers Planning Committee meetings on the 30th of January, 20th of February, 12th of March, 2nd of April, 23rd of April, 14th of May and the 4th of June. Can I just hands to accept those minutes, please?
Get those. Probably ought to have flagged it a long time ago, and I'm really sorry, but I don't get them.
Yes, Madam Mayor, so all minutes go on the information bulletin
Roger.
after the meeting, so it goes up, circulates to the council.
On the info person. Thank you.
So we're happy to receive the minutes for the planning committee. Item 7 is officers' report. The officers' report.
Move to 7.
So 7.1. So 7.1, so we move to page 13. And it is to present the council on forward planner for 2024-25 and resolution tracker for 2023 and 24.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. So the forward plan and the resolution tracker is what you hopefully come to expect to see at every meeting. The forward planner itself, you will see that there's an additional meeting we're adding in that you've all been advised of, and that's the extraordinary council meeting on the 22nd of July 2024. You should expect to be summoned to that meeting the week before that, with the agenda to be confirmed as part of that summons, assuming that all the information that we expect to be transacting at that council is available to us at that time. So that will include the business plan update, Roughampton Park, skate park project, and also the parking policy consultation that we expect to be launched by that point in time. The only other update on the resolution tracker that I would like just to point out, Madam Mayor, is that relates to the storage depot. So you'll know that we've been in discussions for some time now around purchasing the storage depot from the district council. We currently have a licence to operate out of the full depot, which has been working successfully, Madam Mayor, for a few months now. And we hope to complete the freehold transfer within the next 4 to 6 weeks. Very happy to take any questions, Madam Mayor, should anybody have any.
Any questions? Any comments? Okay. So we're being asked to, should we vote on 2.11 and 2.12 separately, individually, or to take 2.1?
Together, I think that'd be okay, Madam Mayor.
Okay, so we're going to take 2.1, council is asked to note and approve, subject to any comments or amendments, the forward planner attached at Appendix A, and note the resolution tracker attached at Appendix B, and approve the removal of those resolutions marked complete. Is everybody happy with all that? Thank you very much. Right, we now move on to 7.2, which is on page 21. And this is to present the year-end outturn for 23-24 to earmark reserve and general reserves as at the 31st of March 24, in line with best practices. A simplified statement of accounts for 23-24 has been prepared for approval by the council.
Yes, so Madam Mayor, just to add context to this and the remaining items on the agenda, they're all items that have been through CPF this month and all been approved by CPF. So the Corporate Policy and Finance Committee are recommending the approval of these items this evening, starting with the year-end accounts. If there are any questions on them, I'm very happy to take those. I should add that you may have wondered why perhaps we didn't move some of these till the extraordinary council meeting. Just in case you were, there is a statutory deadline at the end of June that we have to deliver the annual statement and governance requirements. So that's why that's remained in the agenda this evening.
Any questions? Any comments? So again, we'll take them all together. 2.1. Yeah. So the council is asked to note the outturn for 23-24 as set out in section 4. Approve the level of earmark reserves and general reserves at the 31st of March 24 as set out in paragraph 5.8. Approve the statement of accounts for the financial year 23-24 and approve the statement of accounts be signed by the mayor and the responsible finance officer. Is everybody happy with all that? Yep. Lovely. Thank you very much. So now we move on to item 7.3, which is the internal audit report 23-24, and that's on page 45. And this is to present a copy of the internal audit report for 23-24 that was concluded on the 14th of May 24.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So again, this is the audit report that's been considered by CPF. Councillor Ellis previously, Madam Mayor, raised the question that was raised at CPF, and that's referred to on page 46 under paragraph 3.4. So you will note that on page 51, the assurance table, there aren't any ticks in it. So we're told by the auditors that that's just the way they historically present things. However, in the future, they're going to put the crosses in the boxes that they think appropriate. But just to confirm that all of the areas will receive substantial assurance.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay. Agree with that?
Yeah.
So the recommendation, the council is asked to review and approve the internal audit report for 2023-24. And I see some hands. Everybody happy with it? Thank you very much. We now move on to annual governance statement 23-24, and that is on page 56. Purpose of the report, the annual governance statement, which forms part of the annual governance and accountability return, is submitted to council for approval in accordance with the requirements of the Accounts and Audit Regulations 2015, which requires a statement to be approved before the accounting statement, which is included elsewhere in the agenda. Okay.
So thank you, Madam Mayor. So this is a statutory requirement of the council, following on the various steps that we have to go through with audit and other year-end accounts that you've seen already. So essentially this evening you're being asked to approve the statement that's set out on 57 and 58. And also the crucial thing is to approve that myself and Madam Mayor sign that statement on behalf of the council.
Any questions? Any comments? No? Okay. So the recommendation, the council is asked to approve section 1 of the annual governance and accountability return, setting out the annual governance statement for 23-24 as detailed in paragraph 4, and approve the annual governance statement be signed by the mayor and the town clerk and submitted for audit. Does anybody want to raise hands for approval? Lovely. Thank you very much. And then we move on to the item 7.5, which is the annual governance and accountability return 23-24, which is on everybody's report on page 60. The purpose of the report, the annual governance and accountability return is submitted to council for approval in accordance with the requirements of the Accounts and Audit Regulations 2015. Details on the AGAR, which must be agreed by council, is outlined in the report and is subject to external review. Okay.
So thank you, Madam Mayor. So this is the final piece of the jigsaw on our governance and accounts. The information within this is based on information that you had seen earlier on in the reports relating to year end. And importantly, this time council is asked to approve the return and also approve that in this case that the town mayor and the responsible finance officer, Mr. Williams, sign the return and submit that for external audit.
Okay. Anybody have any comments? Questions? Okay, so the recommendation, the council is asked to approve section 2 of the annual governance and accountability return 23-24, setting out the accounting statement for the financial year ending 31st of March 24. Approve that the annual statements 23-24 signed by the mayor and the responsible finance officer and submitted for audit. And note that the annual internal audit report 23-24 section has been completed. Please. Thank you very much. Do we have any exempt business?
We don't.
We don't.
In the meeting.
Right, formally go to meeting. Thank you very much, everyone.